Hi there, this is Andre from SWL, and this is my review of the Tecsun ICR-110. I've had this radio for a while. I've really tested it. I will be very honest with you right up front. I love this radio. I think it is probably one of my favorites at the moment. There are some drawbacks, but it's got so many things that I just really like about it that I don't mind those drawbacks. It's only FM and AM, so I got this initially because I wanted something that would be good on AM, and I saw just a couple of reviews online that said that this one is good on AM. It's got a very big AM antenna. It's exactly the width of the radio there. The size is 10 centimeters in metric terms, and that would make it about 4 inches. So that's quite big. And that's one of the reasons why the AM reception on this radio is very good. Surprisingly, I don't see many people using this. I don't see it much on YouTube videos where people might have used it for AM reception. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because I think this radio deserves to be used. I think it is really excellent. There are many things about this radio that I think I would like to see in other radios. It just excels in certain aspects. As I said, the AM reception, it's excellent. The FM reception, it's excellent. The SD card recording function and playback, it's excellent. And best of all, the sound quality is just out of this world. It uses a passive radiator speaker, exactly the same as the Tecsun PL-880, which is much more expensive. This radio costs about $45 on anon.co. The PL-880, for comparison, costs $150. Now, obviously, the PL-880 is quite a different machine. It's got really good shortwave functionality, which this one doesn't have. As I said, it's only FM and AM. But the sound quality and the speaker type on this radio and on the PL-880 are exactly the same. That passive radiator speaker just gives you sound that is out of this world. You cannot believe that you can get it from a radio like this. So apart from using this for AM DXing, I also use it as a listening radio. When I just want to sit and listen to an FM station, even an AM station, or I want to play some music on my SD card, I use this radio. Just because the sound is so good. It's got really good bass, and it just sounds good. You often hear that term room filling, and this one actually does it. So just for the sound, I can highly recommend this for $45. It becomes a sound player because you can play your own music with your own SD card that you can put there on, just insert there. But then what also makes it great is the AM reception and then also the FM reception. But for me, for my purposes, mostly the AM reception, because I've done some really, really good DXing on this one, using only the internal ferrite antenna, but also sometimes using my Tecsun AN200 loop antenna, because that also improves the reception quite a bit on this one. So, that was quite a long introduction, but I'm really pleased with this radio. So I will, in the rest of this video, I'm going to look at FM reception, I'm going to look at the AM reception, and I'm going to show you the playback on the SD card. The line-in function is very nice. So if you are doing DXing and you want to make nice quality recordings, you can use this radio. An obvious comparison is the Retekess V115, which also has similar functionalities, plus it's got shortwave, which again, this radio does not have. This radio records at a maximum bitrate of 1 to 8 kilobits per second. The Retekess doubles that, but I still think this one, just maybe because of the quality of the speaker, sounds better in my opinion. And despite the fact that mine is all in Chinese, because I got it directly from China, I find the functionality and just operating this radio much easier than the Retekess. It's obviously quite a bit bigger than the Retekess, but I can live with that. Some diehards might say that this is not an ultralight portable, which I suppose it isn't. It's quite a bit bigger than what we see as ultralight portables in the DXing community, but it's still portable. You've got your carry strap, you can carry it around. I've done that. I've taken it with me when I'm traveling. So for me, this thing really fulfills the functions that I need. So one additional aspect where it's better than the Retekess is the Retekess, in my experience, does not record in Windows Media audio mode, and this radio does. So it records MP3s, Windows Media, and WAV files. I've had no issue uploading whatever I record on this one to my video editing app, where I have had some issues when I've recorded audio on the Retekess that it doesn't want to upload to my video editing app. So that's why I prefer this one now. When I'm doing DXing and I really want to record something, I use this. So that's one of the additional very big advantages of this radio. So if we want to recap, we've got the excellent speaker, we've got the excellent AM, and then the line in recording function. I think it's just easy to use, very functional, no issues. It just works. And it's got an interesting way of separating also what's your recordings and what's your uploaded music on your SD card. I will demonstrate that just now. So maybe just a little bit of technical background. I've done that in my unboxing video, but just to show you again, covers FM, full spectrum, AM. It says here at the back 522 to 1620, but you can change the steps also to the US, to the 10K steps. So that's very easy. You can just change it. It does that. So it works in 9K and 10K steps on AM. And it uses the 18650 battery. So I'll just show you. It came supplied with one, which doesn't look like the best quality one, but it's been working well, and it does seem to last at least a week, but generally about 2 weeks or even more for me. And I use this quite a lot. I honestly use this quite a lot. And then on the front, the buttons took a little while to figure out because they're all in Chinese, but they're all really quite simple. It's just for recording on the SD card, stopping. This is pause and play, and forward and backwards. You can also use this as a search function when you are searching for stations. These two buttons are interesting. When you have your SD card, you can switch between your uploaded files on the SD card itself and your recorded files. So that's what these two buttons do. And you can also change the steps and the spectrum on your FM and AM on the dial here by using these two buttons. So 9K, 10K, and whether you're using from 64 or you use the more traditional from 87, that you can change. Yeah, that's just your FM AM band switch. When you hold it, it does a search and automatically stores it. That's your volume. And yeah, here you can punch in the stations that you want. I'm not, even to this day, I don't quite know what that means down there. So I think let's start off by having a look at the sound quality from the SD card. First step up there on the switch is the MP3, and right to the top is where it's switched on. So as you can hear, it's already started playing. It's some music that I uploaded. Eine kleine Nachtmusik from Mozart. So that is on my SD card. As you can see there, it says card. I will just play it for a couple of seconds. This is copyright-free music that I found on the Internet Archive. So this music is by the Advent Chamber Orchestra, and it's licensed CC by SA, so I am allowed to use that, no copyright issues. Let's have a listen, and I'll turn up the volume so that you can hear the excellent sound. Just another piece of music here. It's a piece called Deep Snow and Sunshine by Lobo Loco, also from the Free Music Archives. CC by NCND is the license. I'm allowed to use that. This is more electronic type music, just to give you an idea of the sound. Really nice sound. I don't know if it will show in my video, but I can feel the vibration of the bass when I'm holding this radio from that passive radiator speaker that's here. So I'm really very happy with the sound on this one. Now these switches, as I said, if I switch between them, there we come to recorded files. So the file management system is really quite simple. Yeah, you've got your card. So that's the music that you downloaded onto your SD card, and they just simply listed as number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can move between them like that. You can use that to repeat files, to repeat play. And then the other option is your recorded files. So those are all the files that I recorded from my DXing, not expeditions, but yeah, my DXing at night when I'm at home. So they are saved there under records, as you see. This signal was Radio Romania. Quite good reception, and it records very well on this radio, as you can hear. That was on the Tecsun PL-880, I think. So yeah, that's the functionality of the SD card. Let's have a look at FM. Okay, that's AM. You see the antenna isn't even stretched out, and this is a local station, 101.5, RSG, that means Radio Zonder Grenzen, Radio Without Borders. It's a public broadcaster. The antenna, if I pull it out, it's 63 centimeters long, really massive. That's 24.8 inches. So the FM reception is really very good. I'm usually able to pick up a station from Pretoria. We can try that quickly. 4.2. There we go, that's Radio Pretoria, or Pretoria FM actually, 104.2. It comes from Pretoria. I'm in Johannesburg. I'm not usually able to pick up this signal on most of my other receivers. The XH Data D808 picks it up. And then I've got a DAB receiver with a massive antenna which also has FM, and that one also picks it up on FM. But that's all. Nothing else manages to pick it up. This one does. So let's have one quick listen to classical music. As you can see, the sound levels are much higher when you're in radio mode on FM than when I was on the SD card, because I adjusted the volume to the top while we were listening to the SD card, and I think it's just got to do with the quality of the download, not the quality or what this radio is capable of doing. Can go loud.
Here on Hot 102.7. And don't forget that if you'd prefer to listen to Hot 102.7's signature old school and R&B mix, that's very, very easy to do.
Here we go, Hot 102.7. So on FM, no complaints. And then of course, if you press and hold this button, it will search and save the stations as it finds it. And you can see it just finds lots of stations. It finds, I think, all the stations in my area. But okay, I'm going to do that now. And then lastly, we will just have a look at AM. So I waited for the night to get a bit darker before I do the AM test. It's about 2 hours after sunset now, so I think it's a good time to see what this thing can do on AM. It usually picks up very distant signals quite well.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one.
So we are starting with a local religious station. It's just a couple of miles from me, 20 to 30 miles. Very, very clear reception.
Allow me to show you.
So let's see. This station is Radio Pulpit, obviously a religious station. And let's see if we can get Cape Talk. That's in Cape Town. So a distance of 1,400 kilometers or 850 miles. Sorry, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's not coming through yet. And let's see if we can get Chimoio in Mozambique, 1026. Okay, that's from a city in Mozambique called Chimoio. Yeah, that's quite a distance. This is 650 miles, almost 1,000 kilometers. So this comes from a city called Tete in Mozambique, 963 AM. That's 1,250 kilometers, 780 miles. Let's try Maseru, Lesotho, which is 639. This one I often pick up even during the daytime. So clearly tonight conditions are not the best, but yeah, we're still getting this one. It's 350 kilometers, 200 miles. And this is another local, well, not quite local, it comes from Manzini in Swaziland, 1170. This is Trans World Radio.
The puzzlement of the disciples, the question of the disciples is the key to the whole verse, to the whole section there. That's the key. You say, why are they puzzled? Why are they shocked? Because, again...
That's Manzini in Swaziland, Eswatini, also about 350 kilometers, 200 miles. Let me try, I often get the Maldives, 1449. Almost there, but not quite. This is really a long distance one. The distance to this station, 1449 AM, is 5,800 kilometers, 3,600 miles. So this Tecsun picks it up with just the internal ferrite. And let's try Voice of America from São Tomé, 1530. Yeah, it's coming through.
Vous venez de suivre notre entretien avec le professeur Alexis Dhivehi, hématologue et directeur général du Centre national de référence de la tétanocytose.
That's Voice of America 1530. It's coming through from São Tomé Island in French, as you can hear. The distance there, 3,800 kilometers, 2,400 miles. So I think you get the point. This radio does manage to pick up distant AM signals. So to conclude, I think I gave you a very good idea of what this radio can do. FM, very good. AM, very good. Playback on the SD card, very good. Speaker, very good. The drawbacks, there's no time setting, there's no time display on this radio, so you cannot use it as an alarm clock, for example. It doesn't have that functionality. This really is just a radio. It's almost like the old-fashioned analog radios that you switched on and you got FM and AM, and that's it, and sometimes shortwave. Now this one obviously has got the SD card functionality, but yeah, it's a radio. It does not offer much more than that. Similarly, I know a lot of DXs would like to set their recorders, their SD recorders, to automatically record certain stations at certain times. Obviously, because this radio doesn't have a timer function, you're not able to do that. There's no sleep function. So those are functionalities that I miss a little bit. When I travel with this radio, I would have liked to have used it maybe on a sleep timer and as an alarm, but yeah, sadly it doesn't do that. Apart from that, I really don't feel like I have any complaints. I'm very impressed with the reception quality on this radio, and I'm very impressed with the speaker sound, as I've said many times already. And I think for $45, this is really a great deal. You will have lots of fun on AM, and once you couple this with any kind of external AM antenna like that Tecsun AN200, the performance is just incredible. Highly recommended from my side if you can find it for $40 to $45, and these are the functionalities you need. By all means, this is really a good buy.